everybody? It's your boy Jerome, and I'm here with a review for Black Ink Crew Chicago, Season 5, Episode 3, and it's titled Tattoo Shop of Horrors. So, without further ado, we are going to jump right into the video. Alright, so this episode opened up with, we had Don, we had Bella, we had Lily. They were all in the shop, and, they were, talking about Lily and going on a date with somebody because now Lily has Bella and her daughter staying with her, and it feels like she's a married woman with a kid, and just need to get her out, get somebody to spend some time with her, cuddle with her, do whatever. Not gonna say what I want to say, but so then we got Slam. Slam comes in, and this is, I guess, for us, technically, it's her first day as just a strict piercer and not a manager anymore. And, Slam feels the type of way about Don coming in and being the manager, which I don't think Don was. Well, I mean, Don was trying to take your spot, but you gave up your spot in a way with the way you acted. And it wasn't even the fact that you had to party. I don't think that was the big issue. I think the big issue was that you was sitting there fighting with Ryan's assistant. What's that girl's name? Gina, aka Wednesday Adams. I think that was the biggest issue. And then your attitude the next day when you came in, when Ryan was trying to say it was two of each things, two tattooers, two managers, two this, two that. But you said, it should be one of one. And he demoted your ass, which, I mean, I definitely get how she feels the way she feels, but you should have kept your mouth closed talking to your boss. So then there's this new guy that comes in there. He's a new artist there. His name is Shine. So this is an artist that, Ryan saw. And, Shine is there. He's just going to take a guest spot for now. So then, they start talking to Shine about, what kind of women he likes, what kind of alcohol he likes. He said Hennessy. And then, Don asked him a different type, and he named the type that Don like, I'm assuming, because Don was like, you my dude. And then they asked him what kind of women he like. He says he doesn't like white women. They asked him, do he like black or white, which he said he doesn't like white women, but his type is more so Spanish women. And they all look at Lily, and Lily's like, why y'all looking at me? Like, bitch, because you Spanish, but bitch, I wouldn't want him to be with her. So, then Don says, what, to welcome you to Chicago and to 9mag. Let's have a 9mag Halloween party. And then, Slam, she's like, what, Ryan gonna sit here and get mad at me for having a party, but then it's okay for, Don to have a party. And she's like, this is all sexist and whatnot. And I'm like, you threw the party without Ryan's acknowledgement. Don is saying this in front of Ryan, why not have a party? And Ryan is agreeing to it. There's a big difference between the two. You just threw a party. Don asked for permission. Like I said, difference. Oh, and then also Ryan says that they can do the party there. It just cannot be any type of party like what they're used to, like any of the 9mag parties from before or the Loyal Link parties. And what he means by that, basically, no motherfucking fighting. All right, so next we see Four. So Four goes out on a date with this girl who's a client of his. Then he starts talking about how he hasn't had sex since he broke up with Nikki. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, if this is a first date, like, do people really do this on first dates, talk about sex with people that they are literally, I mean, I don't get, granted, they probably know each other from, him tattooing her, but is this a conversation that you really sit here and have with someone on a first freaking date? And he's talking about the freaky stuff that you do again. I would be immediately turned off that this is the first date and this is all you talking about. Like, I'd be like, you know what, nigga? If this is all you're gonna sit here and talk to me about, like, I'm sorry, but I'm not just gonna sit here and listen to this bullshit. Like, I'm gonna have to get up and leave. But I guess she was turned on by it, but whatever. If she like it, I love it. All right, so then we go back over to 9mag. So we have Bella and we have Slam there. And we also have Ryan there. He's with a client. He's tattooing. So Bella and Slam are setting up for the Halloween party. Now, I don't think this is the night for the Halloween party. I don't even think this is the day of the Halloween party. But we can clearly see that Slam is taking the drinks to the back of the head. And I'm like, well, god damn, that's the reason why Ryan did what he did to you. again, granted, it was, wrong how he did it, but you still kind of basically proving him right. Like, you at work and here you are getting drunk. Okay, if you say so. So, Don comes in there, and, Don is talking to Bella and Slam about, the clients that are scheduled to come in there, and then what are they gonna do if someone just walks in and say they want to get a tattoo. And again, Slam has been drinking, so she's not really lucid or coherent in what he's saying, but she said that they got it covered, I guess. But then she's telling him, he coming at her mad hard, and I don't think he was coming at her hard or not. I think he was just coming at her as a manager, like, I know you say you got the clients taken care of, but what if people just walk in off the street? Which that does happen, because I've done it plenty of times at tattoo shops. When I go get tattoos, I don't make an appointment with them unless it's somebody that I do know and that I love their work. Then I'll call them and say, hey, when can you squeeze me in? But if it's something that I just think about up the whim of my head, I just go into the shop and ask who's there and, get it done and first of all, I look at their work and see what they've done and then go from there. But she was doing the most. So then, he told her to leave, but she didn't want to leave. So then went and talked to Ryan and told Ryan what's going on. So he goes back out there and he tells, Slam, like, hey, get your shoes. Let's go outside and have a conversation. So on their way out the door, he tricks her. She goes out the door, but he closed the door right behind her, lock her out. She at the door just beat on it like a mad woman. I'm like, girl, why you doing that? Like you could be in a good neighborhood with a bunch of white people, and if they hear an angry black woman just knocking on the door, 9 times out of 10 they're gonna call the police. And that's what Don did. He pretended like he was calling the police to basically scare what's her name? Slam away. He didn't want to get her in trouble, which I knew he didn't. And when he said he was calling the police, I knew he was lying like a motherfucker, because they would have recorded that conversation. But he just wanted to scare her, basically. All right, so next we got Charmaine and this so terrible ass wig. Like, oh my God. So she let us know that Ryan called her and he wanted to meet with her. So, she sits down with Ryan and she's telling Ryan how, she doesn't understand how Ryan can be so forgiving of Don and Van, but he's not forgiving of her. And, because remember last season when Charmaine went over to where supposedly the new 9 mag was supposed to be, she went over there to talk to him, but he didn't want to hear her out. He didn't want to hear her out. And, she's basically saying all the things that's happened between 9 mag, Loyal Inc., and now new 9 mag. The feelings were just hurt, which, I guess I can see that. And, she's talking about how the things that she did last year and the year before, she wouldn't do it. She would, if she had the chance to do it again, she wouldn't do it again, which I'm like, okay, Charmaine, whatever. But in a nutshell, to tie this up, Ryan and Charmaine, they make up with one another. And, Ryan tells Charmaine that, he's having a party at 9 mag for her to come through. And she's also telling Ryan the things that she can do for him. I'm like, okay. This was just a segue to bring them all back together, because we all saw this at the end of last season that, when Ryan went back over there to the shop, I'm like, yep, they are all going to be back together come season 5. And lo and behold, they're all back together for season 5. Shocker? Shock me not. All right, surprise, surprise. So after the fight last week between Bella, Gina, aka Wednesday Addams, Slam, and Lily, they're all cool. And I'm like, well, looky here. Like, if this isn't bipolar at its finest, like, y'all go from fighting with one another, snatching bitches' wigs off, fighting in corners, to y'all cool and babu and having a good time with one another. I'm like, okay, if you say so. So, we see a humbler Slam, whatever the fuck her name is. I'm like, God dang. Once you take the alcohol away from her, she's a rational, lucid person. It's crazy. So then we see Van. He comes in there. He has his apprentice, and her name is Evnita, something like that. Evnita, something like that. So she comes in and she is, like I said, she's his assistant, and she does that tinting or tattooing on the eyebrows. I can't. They said what it's called, and I couldn't remember what it's called. So she's not an actual tattoo artist. Now this scene was so weird to me because Bella would seem like she was in her feelings about this girl because she's in her feelings because, and then before, back up just a little bit. So when Wednesday Addams left, Wednesday said she was going to get Ryan's kid some food, and Bella's like, I'd rather go get his kid some food than pick up goat shit, and it was hot at that. And so she's in her feelings about that. Bella's in her feelings about Wednesday Addams being Ryan's assistant. She's in her feelings about Don taking Slam's position. Who else? It was something else. She's just in her feelings, pretty much, put it that way. And I'm like, well, why are you coming at this girl like that? They start grilling the girl about what she did, her work and whatnot. And I'm like, why are y'all concerned? Like, she is his apprentice. If he had any questions about her, which he should, but he doesn't, unfortunately. But I just didn't get why they had questions, why they were questioning her. Like, are you serious? Like, y'all don't hire or fire anybody. That would be Ryan. And technically, I guess you could say Don. Like, I was over Bella completely. Okay, so then we have Ryan and Sean. They at the tattoo shop, and Sean is telling Ryan about this technique that he has that he uses with the iPad and whatnot. I really 100% didn't understand what he was saying, but from what he was talking, from what I could kind of grasp, but this sounds pretty cool. Speaking of Sean, are his teeth stacked on top of one another right here, or does he have some teeth missing? I couldn't quite figure that out. So then he has a guy come in there to get a tattoo from him, and the tattoo that he did was like, I love that tattoo. Like, that was a badass fucking tattoo. Like, I love when we see them tattooing on this show. So next I'm gonna move over to Charmaine. So we see Charmaine. She and Neek are at home. She is doing a cooking. She's recording it, and I know she was just being funny, but she's shading YouTube, and I'm like, there's nothing wrong with YouTube. And first of all, your setup look like it's for YouTube because I have the same setup. Like, if you guys were to see, I have a ring light right in front of me, and then my camera is right in front of, which you guys are technically looking at, and it's just like hers. Mine is, I'm using my cell phone, and I wish I was not using my cell phone. I used to film on my laptop, but my laptop fizzled out on me, so now I have to go get the laptop fixed, and I'm actually in the process of buying me a DSLR camera. And if anybody out there knows any good ones that I can buy to use for photography, recording my videos, leave it in the comment section below, and I'm gonna check it out. She's talking about she's not in your mama's basement filming. Well, bitch, I'm not in my mama's basement either. My mother didn't even have a basement. I am in my apartment, in my bedroom, filming my YouTube videos. And bitch, you got videos on YouTube as well. So fuck you, Charmaine. No, I'm just playing. It's all jokes. So yeah, your daddy did raise a dummy though. So, she and Neek, after they finish cooking, they have a conversation. She's telling him about the conversation that she had with Ryan. Neek just doesn't feel, comfortable with it. He don't feel like she should do it. And she tells him that, she's contemplating going back to not Loyal Inc., not Mag. And, basically he doesn't want her to go back there because of all the drama that happens with this shop, which it ain't nothing but a drama-filled shit show. And he's like, the moment that it happens, she gotta be done with it. And she's like, are you giving me an ultimatum? I'm like, yeah. Sounds like it, doesn't it? Sounds like it's giving you an ultimatum. All right, so two things of the episode. So we had them at the shop. We had Shine, we had Bella, and we had Slam. So they were talking about their first time tattooing and piercing. Slam, they asked the question, did Slam mess up, someone's piercing? Someone's nipple piercing. She said yes. It was kind of twisted, I guess you would say. And then somebody had a third nipple that she pierced, and that just sounds so fucking nasty. Which I know somebody that has a third nipple, and that shit is nasty as the fuck. It's like right here, and it's like she said, it looks like an actual nipple. Oh. And then Sean said, he messed up somebody's tattoo when he first started. But, that's a part of growing and learning. You have to make mistakes. So then there's this guy that comes in there. He's talking about how he wants to get a book of his kids. I think he said he had 4. And, you know, he asked for but he asked for Ryan or Van. Ryan is not there, but Van is there, and Van heard his name. So Van got up and, you know, he was giving that man some suggestions about what he can get. And then, you know, he asked who else are artists there. And Sean says he is. And, you know, Sean starts showing him his work. And I'm like, I agree with Van. Like, you stepping into uncharted territory. Like, this man came in here. He knew who he was looking for, but you take it upon yourself to say something to him. Like, that's like, what the fuck? Like, I could see it if Van nor Ryan were there, but they were clearly there. You're going to sit there and be like, actually, this is kind of like what happened last season with Cobra and Lily. Not Cobra and Lily, but Cobra and Reese. When Reese's client, not Reese, but when Cobra's client came in there and she wasn't there and Reese tattooed her. That's a different situation. But, and granted, Ryan's not there, but Van is sitting right there and talking to the man. But the man ended up going with Van. And they set up, you know, he told him he'll set up with him too when he comes in there to get the tattoo. And it's actually the man's first tattoo. And I'm like, God dang, you want to get that? I know it's going to be a big ass tattoo. And you want it for your first one? Like, whoo, better you than me. So then we see the the Halloween party that they're having. And, you know, everybody's there. We see somebody that's dressed up as Van. And I'm like, why would you want to dress up as Van? No offense. So, like I said, they're all there. And then we see Charmaine come in, and she's dressed as Poison Ivy. Although Poison Ivy didn't have a dress on in the movie Batman and Robin, she had on a leotard, or a leotard. I guess that's what you call it. I don't know. So, you know, they having a good time until Bella gets hella fucking drunk and goes off on Evanita, whatever that girl's name is. I'm still not sure what her name is. She went off because she was talking to Lily, and I'm like, what the fuck? So, you know, then Van tried to calm both of them down, and then in the middle of him trying to calm them down, you know, shit just started flying, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, really? But then Don takes Bella's drunk ass outside and tell Bella just basically to calm down. Like, shit, it ain't that serious. Calm the fuck down. So then, you know, he kind of gets her calmed down a little bit. And then there's this random girl that's trying to fight with her. And we see the girl swing on Bella. And then Lily, Bella, and this girl are all fighting with one another. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? This is what Ryan was trying to avoid, a fight. But, you know, you got Bella there and you got her drinking. So it's not a good combination. But that was Black Ink Crew. Like the video, leave your comments, subscribe to my channel, and I shall see you guys later on tomorrow.